So in the last class, what we had a discussion. We had a discussion about the how user object cheat sheet and how the this what we can say database views will work. So today we have pending. There is a glide aggregate was there, glide record was there, and glide date was there. So today we will discuss about how the glide record or GR sheet will work for it. And also in previously, so what is a glide record? Glide record is a method which can be used to fetch the table in a variable. So generally we will use var and the variable name equal to new glide record and we can write the table name. That means that complete entire table was fetched into the variable what we had defined. And once we have done it, for example, if you use add active query, which will filters to return a active records in the glide query condition. So for example, you want to fetch what are the incidents with priority high. So at the time what happened, we can use the add active query. So whenever if you define reason variable name dot, if you given these are all add query will be there. Next one is the add encoded query. Add encoded query is nothing but, for example, if you want to fetch create an last month and priority is high. So at the time we can, if you want to club two or more, we can use the add query, and which where we can define this one as a string format. 1 minute, somebody is joining. Yeah, tell me, you're saying something. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't share my screen. I'm sorry. Thank you. I forgot it. So yeah, I hope you are able to see right. So, so what happened when what is the use of glide record? Glide record is a method which can be useful to which can be used to fetch the current query table one. So which we can do it. That is a add active query. So add active query use of this one. So next one, that add active query. If you want to fetch the what are the incidents priorities high, for example, that means you want to filter by any particular field, we can use the add active query. And the next one, add encoded query. Add encoded query is nothing but so it adds a query encoded query. For example, if you want to fetch few info, we can use the add encoded query. So that means what are the created incident priority one and create on this month. If you want to fetch, we can use the multiple things. We can use the string, and where here we can give in the query as a string format. And next one, add not null query. Add not query adds a filter where field name values are not null. So that means the field where it is not null, so it will fetch it. And where add null queries, wherever the field name is null, it will fetch it. So null is nothing but it's empty. It's not empty, it's a nothing void. And add query, so add query will fetch the one we have seen it. And next one, add active query is nothing but it filter the active records. This is the one of the most common asked interview question. What is the use of add active query? Or I want to fetch a add active query by using glide record. It will do it. That one. And the next one is a glide query condition. For example, add condition. Add condition is nothing but which will add a use the given option to condition the all the stuff. And add or condition, it's a give the or condition to the current condition. These are the main string the query operations we can do it. And next one is has access. So access in the sense whether the user can create a record in the table or can delete a record in the table or can read a record in the table or can write a record in the table. So at that time what happens, we can, so you can see can create, which will can check the whether the user has the create a record or not, or can delete is nothing but whether the user can delete the record, delete from a record from this table, it will check it, or can read, can user can read this from the table, that we can do. Can write is nothing but he can write the same thing for the high. And these are the methods. And next one is the delete. Delete is nothing but if you want to delete a record, current record by business script, we can use delete record. If we want to delete a multiple records at a time, we can use the delete multiple records. So that is the basic thing which we can follow the same thing. And next one is the get is nothing but to fetch the value. So get attribute is nothing but, so whenever we use the get attribute, it it returns the dictionary attributes or field name, which means it returns the dictionary attribute. So what are the attribute we have written the dictionary level, it will be used to for the get attribute. Our get display value is nothing but what is the display value for that one, it will show the same thing. And get display value, okay, get display value, so will returns the display value of the field name also. For example, if you given any, if you use a get display, it will display the complete record value whatever we have given. And if you give it any field name, it will display the particular field value what is the showing on this one. And get element is nothing but, so if you want to fetch the current field backend name, we can use the get element. Get encode query, so get encode query is nothing but which returns the current query condition as an encode string. That means encode is nothing but we are giving multiple query, multiple things and fetching a filter in a one query, that is all. So and get encode query, so we'll fetch the this one. And next get record class name is nothing but which will returns the class name for the current class, current record, that means it will be the table name. Get row count will be used to how many rows in that count. That means for example, if you have filter a query thing, so how many records by using that query, it will automatically displace the uh, for example, if you filter there are 20 records, it will check the how many records are it by using the get row count, we can check how many records it was done. And next one is the get table name. Get table name is nothing but if you want to return the what is the name of the table currently, we can use get table name. And get unique value is nothing but if you want to fetch the sysid of the record, so which will be using the get unique value. And the next one get value, so if you want to return the value for the particular field, it will be was the same thing. So till now you guys understood, right? Add query operations and operator and delete and get till now. Any queries till now? Any queries? Okay, good. Now, so now the next step was we use the read record operations. So the record operations in the sense, so the record operations get, when you use the get, basically it will get the primary key in the sense what is the unique value in that primary key, we can use the same thing. And next get object name dot object value, fetch the record where fair name equals to the same thing. For example, if you want to get the correct value from that table, it will use the get object value and all the things. And next means get last error message. Get last error message, which will be used to retrieve the what was the last error which was given for the using the script, will fetch it. And next one, has next. Has next is nothing but it returns true if there are any one records in the, so whenever if you have multiple records you need to execute a script multiple times, we can use the has next. And initialize is nothing but, so it creates a grade record without any default values set. That means, so it will create an empty record. So whenever if you are creating a new record, we will use the initialize function. And is new record, new record is nothing but it's a method to check whether the record is already existing, is a new record or not. Inserts a records a new record, and new record is nothing but creates a new record and sets the default values for the field. See here, so there is a difference. Initialize will not, it will create a empty record and without any default values. And new record, it will create a values and sets with the default values. And the next moves the next record in the glide object. That means what, for example, if you filter a 20 records, first script, the script will execute. If you want to execute the script is the next one, create the one. And next one, query is nothing but to perform the what are the filter, we can use the same thing. And set limit, if you want to maximize or something, we can use the set limit function for the same thing. And set value is used to fetch the info for the same thing, to set the value for the same thing. Next one here, set workflow. Set workflow, this is the one of the most common asked interview question. What is a set workflow, whether it should be true or false. For example, if you make a set workflow false, it will not run any business rule or run any notification or run any script or run any other things or another workflow. So for example, whenever if you are updating a script in the backend, how 1,000 records, I don't want to run any email notification or any other thing. So at the time we can use a set workflow as a false. I think I already shown the same thing in the uh, background script concept, we can say it. And next one is update. So that means saves the record changes to the database. Reason is saved to the audit record. So that means if you want to record will be automatically saved it for the same thing. Next one, update multiple. If you want to update the records at a time, we can use the update multiple. Next one is valid. So whether we need to check that is a valid one. Is action abort is nothing but checks to see if the current database action is to be aborted. Which means, for example, if you want to so is action aborted checks to see if the current database action is to be aborted. That means if you want to stop the execution, stop the record save, you can use the abort action. Next one is valid is nothing but, so returns that if the current table is, whenever if you are creating a new table, we can check the is valid one. Is valid, sorry, if the current record is already available, it will be set as a true. And is valid string is nothing but, so whether that field is existing in the database or not. Is a valid record is nothing but whether that record is already existing or not. This is the valid one. And next one, whenever if you fetch a record, we will use the order by. So that means, for example, I want to, whenever I have to create a record, I want to display by ascending order, descending order. At the time, we can use order by, and order by will be used to for the ascending order, and order by DESC is nothing but use the descending order. So these are the main things we can use in the glide record. Later I can share this document to you guys, so you guys can check and prepare it. Till now, you guys clear? Any questions? Any questions till now? Okay, so I'm treating as yes. Thank you guys. And the next step is operators. What are the operators in the system service now? If it is good equal to, it's a number and equal to the numeric value, and this operator is used to not equals to, and this is for the greater than, this is the greater than. I think this I'm not explaining, this you already understand still. And you see in, is nothing but it will use to set the value for it. Not in is nothing but not in set of value, what are the value we have to, and we can use a starts with. If you want to fetch it, we can use the starts with the query and ends with contains. I think these operators I can share the document, you guys can refer it, and these are the few examples for it. Later you can just check it. And the one more thing, for each and everyone we have given example, you guys can practice it. And one more thing, whenever if you are writing a script, the best practice, never define a variable as gr. If you define a variable as gr, so the system is already having some global variable, so there may be a chance to recursive chance to execute the other script also. So the best practice, never use a gr as a variable in the service. That is a best practice, and this is the one of the most common asked interview question. If you want, you can please note it down. So till now you guys clear, right? Or any confusion or anything not clear? Okay, good. So later I can share this document with the examples, you guys can refer for field enquired query last term message. These are all things. We have glide aggregators there, that's fine. Okay, I think this is the glide sorry gr for queries. Next one is the, I'm just stopping this recording.